I bought a house right next door to Jamie Foxx, up the street from Jamie. And I used to tell my ex-wife at that time, like, listen, this nigga got an Oscar. We just got a dog named Oscar. $2 million, $3 million in debt, nigga, and I ain't got nothing to show for it.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life.
Hello, welcome to another edition of Club Shay Shay. I am your host, Shannon Sharpe. I'm also the proprietor of Club Shay Shay. And the guy that's stopping by for a drink and conversation today is a comedian. He's an actor, screenwriter, producer, radio personality, entrepreneur. He's a former Army sergeant, 30 years in the entertainment industry. The man is so bad he named himself after a natural disaster. Earthquake, what it is, my boy?
Well, thank you very much. Let me just correct you. I was in the Air Force.
Are you? Oh, what did I say?
Don't
Army?
you ever disrespect me.
My man, you was in the Air Force.
Yeah, man, the dog can get in the Army.
There you go. See, there you go, Quake. We not gonna disrespect any branch of the military.
Well, I will. You don't even need a heartbeat to get in the Army. It's the Air Force, don't you ever.
How you doing today, bro?
Man, I'm so blessed, brother. And it's a pleasure to be in Club Shay Shay. Man, serving them L's up.
You know what I do? You know what I got? I got my own cognac, Quake. And I said, you know what? My boy Quake coming today. I said, you know what? Yeah. Let me know what you think. Honest opinion, because I know you're going to tell me the truth because I've been knowing you.
Oh, this smooth.
Yeah.
You know, I drink 1738, but I think they out.
Yeah, hey.
It's smooth.
I got you a bottle to take with you.
Please. No, you can't have none. Oh, that's smooth.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Check this out, Quake.
Yes.
I know you was doing this this Netflix special going on at the Hollywood Bowl, all the biggest and brightest, Dave Chappelle. Some fan, I don't know what, I don't really consider that, that's not a fan. You run up and do some bull job like that, that's not a fan. Someone ran on the stage, attacked Chappelle.
Right.
You were there.
Yeah, I was on the show.
What was going through your mind when that happened?
Well, we was about to do the curtain call, and this ninja, this motherfucker was so quick, he jumped over and tackled Dave like he played for y'all back in the day. But Dave took it good. He didn't bring him to the ground. He bounced off him like AB. And then they took him in the back and he got a knuckle up sandwich.
Yeah, I mean, I saw photos of him. I mean, his arm was not meant to bend that direction. Yeah. And his eye definitely wasn't like that when he arrived at the show.
Nah, but that's what you get for coming up there. And it's a shame because it was a historic night. You had Chris Rock, you had me, Dave Chappelle, Jon Stewart, Jimmy Carr, Michelle Wolf, Jeff Ross. You talking about 19,000 people, man.
Wow.
It was beautiful. And just to be a part of it, I was just sucking it in, and then all of a sudden this mother jumped up. And I wanted to get a couple of licks in, but my manager, Jermaine, talking about we ain't got our money yet. So we can't afford no lawsuits. So he said, come on back in the back. I said, let me get a couple of hits in. But it didn't.
Is this something that you worry about now? That you tell a joke? Because it used to be quite, you see somebody in the front row, they got a bad outfit on, you make a joke. Somebody hair is not right, you make a joke. Somebody looking crazy, you make a joke. Are you afraid now to make a joke about something about someone because they might run up on stage on you?
Hell no, that's what you got a mic stand for. I'm from Africa. That's a javelin. I javelin. You run up there if you want to, you're going to lose a lung. I don't even worry too much about that. It's always been an occupational hazard.
Right.
And you can kind of tell. But this person, it was so much he came out of nowhere.
Right.
When you're in an intimate club, you could see certain dudes, you're like, yeah, he on edge, so you just don't mess with him.
Right.
You don't bring nothing to him on the rest of it and let it go. And plus security usually at a club, especially for us, is adequate. And they'll beat them down off of it. And to be quite honest with you, we never until this Will Smith thing happened, we never had that problem.
Right.
You know what I mean? We was the only genre that didn't need metal detectives. You came to see a comic, which is a son of a clown. And we didn't get that kind of clientele like rappers did and that stuff. So, you know, it's to me, you know, it's a change in it. But no, it don't change mine. I came too far for let a person whoop my ass right now.
You mentioned that Chris Rock was there, and he grabbed the microphone and asked, "Was that Will Smith?"
And that's because we comics, they jokes.
Right.
And you know, my gay community, Dave is the nicest dude in the world, man, and he has nothing against anybody. But when you tell us what we can't say, that's a form of bullying to us.
Right.
Who are you to tell us not to say it? We are born as independent contractors. We self-produce our own. All our lives in our profession is we stand on stage, and how dare you tell me I can't say this?
Right.
And I'm gonna say it and keep going.
It makes you want to say it even more.
If you ever want a comedian not to say something, don't tell him not to say it.
Right.
I have never met a comedian. When you get up there, don't talk about this. But goddamn it, well, I'm gonna talk about it.
As soon as I get up on stage.
As soon as I get up there.
You watching the Oscars.
Yeah.
You hear Chris Rock tell the joke about the G.I. Jane.
Yeah.
You watch Will Smith. Did you think it was real at the time it was happening, or did you think it was a skit?
Yeah, I knew it was real when the tape delay stopped letting them talk. You know what I mean? When they started bleeping and it was quiet, I like, no, this is real. This is real. And I'm glad I watched it because Chris taught all of us, and he should have taught everyone. That's how you handle a situation under those terms. You know what I mean?
Do you believe he would have been as calm as he was had it not been the Oscars? I think the setting has a lot to do with it. Because if you in a regular club, you in Atlanta, you in DC, you in Dallas, and somebody run up on the stage like that, you ain't gonna be like, okay, hey, somebody just ran up here and slapped it, you know what out of me.
Right. No, they really fucked him up. Your team would have came and got it then. Your team versus their team.
Right.
Then it would have been a melee. But Chris understood
the circumstances.
It was the Oscars produced by a black man that the first time we kept on saying.
Well, hell, why didn't Will think about that?
Because that's what happens when you in love with that goddamn woman. Now that shit don't matter, man. The prime example of what happened to that is what happens when you love a woman that don't love you and you still trying to validate.
You don't think she love him?
Fuck no.
Wait, for real, now hold on. How did you come to this conclusion? Okay, they had an entanglement. Yeah, she puts all of her business and everybody else's business on the red table. But I think she loves him.
If she loved him, she would have never let him run up there.
True. Now that's what I think.
If she loved him, she wouldn't have laughed after it happened. If she loved him, he did 30 years of being a clean cut of a comic that never ever succumb to all the pressures of gangster rap and everything.
But that's the build up. See, it wasn't about that joke that one time.
No.
It was about y'all been calling this man soft for 30 years.
No,
the rap game.
that wasn't it. He's been called soft before that. When all the gangster rap and NWA was out there, they called him corny.
Yeah.
Will Smith.
He won a Grammy. He won the first
Grammy through that. He didn't buckle, unlike Hammer. Hammer went out there with bumps to the bumps and put it on there underneath on the mountains with rain coming and women all around. He didn't succumb to it. He stood. He didn't care about it. But his woman, he laughed about it. And when she said that ain't funny and you ain't gonna do nothing about it, it made him act. Everybody be around men that love their woman that overreact. Usually she's like, come on, baby.
But here's the thing though. I've been with women, and my thing is that somebody being disrespectful towards my woman. You know, I'm gonna try to, hey, bro, that's my woman. And normally they say, okay, my bad, Sharpe, I didn't recognize, I'm sorry.
Right.
But it's also her place she know her man. Your woman know you. Any woman that's been with me, she know I'm short fused.
Your trigger.
Yeah, Shannon.
Hey, baby, no, Shannon, I got you.
Yes.
Baby, I got you.
Yes.
Baby, I got you.
I'm going home with you.
Yeah.
I sleep with you. Yeah. I'm with you.
Reassuring your partner.
Yes.
And you know that motherfucker who's in love would kill everybody in there.
For sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
There is no power, no strength like a man that's defending his woman.
Yeah.
And he would, Chris should have been, man, the real Ali would have came through him. He would have whooped everybody's ass in there for her ass.
Are you surprised that he hadn't spoken publicly, Chris Rock hadn't spoken publicly about this event?
No, I went through a divorce. He gonna sue him. Anytime you hear, I'm still working through it, and it's a process, that means litigation. I mean, what else can he do?
Right.
You can't kill him, so ain't nothing else to do but sue him. You need to pay me for that.
Do you think the Academy handled it correctly by allowing him to go back, sit down, stage, stay for the entirety of the show?
Hell no. Hell no. That's what Dave Chappelle said. He might have hit me, but he wouldn't have sit down there comfortable and watch the whole goddamn show. And that's, they allowed him to do that. And he thanked everybody. He apologized to everybody, excuse me, but to Chris.
That's the problem that I have.
Because he can't come to, ain't no problem because he love his woman. It'd have been just as bad if he slapped and then apologized in front of nor did she when it was over.
But you apologizing to the Academy.
Yeah.
You gotta apologize to the man you hit.
No, because the man you hit assaulted your woman, not the Academy, in her eyes.
Quake, look, I said, Chris Rock is for real. Because under no circumstance, I don't care where you are in America, if you black, if a man walk up and slap you, something got to be done.
Well, you can slap me for $200 million. That's what I'll take out his ass.
Hey, but here's the thing.
$200 million. You owe me you can slap the shit out of me. If you got $200 million in front of everybody at the inauguration, you can slap me at the NAACP meeting. You can slap the shit out of me. Undisputed. If you're giving out $200 million, man, you crazy. That's $200. I will sue $100 million from the Academy.
How the Academy for?
Well, goddamn it, you let them sit there and enjoy like ain't nothing happened. I was assaulted. I sent $100 million to ABC or whoever broadcasted. You did enough to you delayed it enough so the words wouldn't come out. You could delay it enough not to see that goddamn slap that got hit. Then I'm coming to Will Smith. I need that Men in Black money. I need that goddamn parents don't understand money. Independence Day. I need all that shit. Believe me, I'm gonna test your love for her ass. You gonna see how much you really love her when I take all that goddamn money from you.
But I think I read somewhere where she said it just goes to show you when someone is pushed too far or someone is going too far.
She ain't say shit. A woman that loved you to say that, she would have immediately made a statement. This, what happened with my husband, is not indicative of who he is. He has over 30 years of great community service enough. He lost his temper. You should not let what this
one moment
tarnish or sully his name. What the hell she saying? It's a time of healing, and I'm all part of it. Motherfucker, of course you is. You right here putting bruises on motherfuckers. Sitting down here having an entanglement in this man's house with a kid that a friend of yours. Get the hell out of here. Sitting down here having your daughter sit there and talk about...
So who's most responsible for this act?
God damn it, a woman. Sometimes we gotta hold them accountable now. You cannot harbor these fugitives.
Well, so what about Will?
You understand?
Where's Will's
Listen, man, when we all love a woman we can't control, you have two options to do. Shannon, you either accept the love she give you or you leave her alone. She know that man loves the hell out of her. She sicked him on like he was a pit bull. Go get his ass. Like a drug dealer. Yeah. And she went up there. That's what she did.
You speaking from firsthand knowledge because you went through a divorce.
True.
You filed for divorce and it took you like 3 years for it to be finalized.
Shit, it took 9 years.
Hold on.
I was only married 3 years. It took 9 years to get a divorce. I went to court one day and said, look here, Jan, I could have killed this motherfucker, been on parole by now. Now, this is ridiculous. I want my freedom. Now, goddamn it.
So was she contesting it?
Of course. Of course.
But hold on. But Quake, if you didn't love her no more, she knew the love wasn't there anymore, what was she holding on to?
The standard of living. That heel is beautiful. It's the most seductive thing in the world. If you take a woman to a standard of living that she cannot maintain on her own, she's ruined in her life because very few other men are going to show her that standard of living, which includes the love and look out at you. When you personally, financially commit to a woman, you raise her elevation where it is. You give her like what they said, exhale. I have a man. I mean, I don't have to. Most women that's independent because not because they want to, they have no choice. The man of their life has not came in their life yet. They don't want to do. They want to give all that shit to you. It's a lot of responsibility having a woman. And if you take on that responsibility for her and you take her to a level that no other man is going to come take it unless he love her. I knew what I was doing for her, that it will never be another man to do for her unless he love her.
So that's why, so you're saying a lot of the reason why we see situations like this where women fight to hold on or guys have baby mamas and they behave in a certain manner is because they don't want to let go because they know the standard of living in which they become accustomed to is potentially leaving.
And not only the standard of living, the comfortability of things that you can't even equate until the man is gone. You know what I mean? It's a comfort. It's a thing of it. Something wrong with my car, I can call Shannon. I got a man, baby, my car broke. Stay right here, I'm sending the Uber, the AAA coming to get it. You independent, you ain't got no AAA, you out there changing that damn tire your damn self. You understand? Side dudes don't do that.
Do you think Will would be happier divorced?
I think Will would be happy once he comes to the realization, like most men, that you in love with a woman that don't love you, and no matter what you do or what you give or what you have achieved, it's not going to be sufficient.
Why don't you think she loves him? They've been married for 20 plus years, Quake.
Hey man, a lot of women settle. My aunt settled. My aunt settled because she wanted to get out of my grandmama's house. He had a house somewhere to stay. Go ahead. It's been for.
Well, that used to be a long time ago. I don't think
still
women
here. It's just a higher level. It's still a higher level. It's settled. He is not the man of her dreams. And she constantly throw it in his face. That's why you bring up Tupac. Got his daughter sitting there. Please come back, Tupac. I know you're alive, so me and mommy could be happy. That's his child right now, and she wasn't even born.
No.
When Tupac was alive. So that comes from the mother. It comes from a mother, man. It's some different degree, no matter what relationship we have. You don't supposed to have your son's friend in your house where you pay for and the rest of it. It's a degree of respect. When a woman loves you, there's certain lines they just won't cross, regardless of your behavior.
Right.
Regardless of how you, because I love you, I ain't gonna do that to you.
So, you see, what is your stance on marriage? Are you willing to get married again, or
I'm about to get married again, but I'm getting some paperwork. Because if it don't work out, motherfucker, we're gonna have an agreement. All right, we're gonna separate my money. You understand what I'm saying? Why you getting a divorce? Why you need a prenup if we love each other? I say I got car insurance and I don't expect to be in no accident.
But just in case.
I want to be covered. So if this don't work out.
Why was marriage so bad for Quake?
Wrong woman that didn't love
You don't believe you could have done anything differently?
Yeah, picked another woman.
Man, go ahead and Quake. They were talking about Quake.
No, I mean, just because she wasn't right for me and she didn't love me don't make her a bad woman.
Right.
She's a great woman. She just ain't my woman. She doesn't share the views that I have. You know when a woman loves you.
Right.
And she didn't love me. That's why I didn't understand where the anger came from. The anger should have never been. I just foiled the plot. I see you.
Has there been a situation where you got married to this lady, okay, you realize, okay, she's not the one, but is there one that got away?
No.
Because I've been in that situation. I've been in the situation, I've had a great woman, and I effed it up. Okay. It was me.
Right.
And as I told her, the mind replays what the heart can't delete.
True.
I realized, Quake, when you in a situation.
We talked about this at the Sky Bar.
Yeah.
When I seen you for the last time, we talked about that at the Sky Bar. Yeah.
And I was like, Quake, a lot of times when you in a situation, you don't realize how good that situation is because you're there. But now when you remove from that situation, you're like, damn, man, I really messed this up.
Yeah. I've never been that fortunate. I've never been fortunate to the point that a woman has ever completely gave herself to me.
Have you allowed yourself to be vulnerable? You can't have love without being vulnerable. That's what I've had to learn. Being in therapy for the last years, is that me, I got like, because I'm afraid, damn, I worked so hard for this to make sure my family, my kids are taken care of, and damn, somebody might come in there and pretend like they love me and take my stuff.
Right.
So I've kind of like Heisman posed a lot of people, but I've got to, in order for me to fully, I've got to let go.
And I agree with you. I'm the hardest to deal with from a woman's point of view on that. But I also believe, and it's a prime example with the woman I'm with now, if she's truly the right one, it ain't a problem. She'll go through all the obstacle, man-made obstacle, distraction I put of the hurt of being insecure like you is. A real woman that believes in you will look through that. I don't care about that. I'm here, and eventually you'll be here.
Right.
I'm gonna break down all the rest of that, and I'm here for the long run. I just believe if she's the right one, you will. I have never, ever had a woman go all out for me on it. You hear dudes all the time. It's a chick in the bushes, want to see me, and she sitting down here, keep calling me. When I break up with a woman, boy, they go straight to the checkout line. 10 items less. This what I came up on, and I'm up out of here. I'm like, goddamn, I can't get no crime, baby, don't leave me or nothing. Checkout time. This motherfucker, the jig is up. All right, come on, we'll take it. And that's why I say take everything you came up off, and we'll be cool.
What are the Kim and Kanye? How do you think he's handling that situation?
Terrible. Terrible.
What could he do to, like, you know what? She no longer is in love with me? Because I've had private conversation with people, and I said the thing that Pete Davidson, and we'll address his situation, is that what he can give her that Kanye never could, is that's peace.
True.
Kanye worth $3, $5, $6, $7 billion, but she has her own money. She doesn't need that for him.
True. And he can't use that to make her behave.
Yeah.
And he can't, in our business, take the body away, I take away your status.
Right.
She has access to everywhere he can go.
Yeah.
He can't economically impose on her. He can't economically isolate her. He can't do none of it. Because see, when you blow up and you got a woman with no name, she got to use you as a reference.
Right.
To get to all of those things that she used to do when she with you. Kim don't need that.
Right.
Kim has her own.
Right.
You understand? So the lights clap on her, so she doesn't need him. And it's probably for the first time ever, he wanted something that didn't want him. So it's a mixture of ego, love, and the whole nine. I knew he was in trouble talking about, I need to see my kid. When the brother started putting the kids in there, he got it bad.
Leave the kids out.
He got that, come on. You don't put my kids in. You know it. Soon as you start dating a girl and they find out it's Shannon Sharpe on it, I want to come see little Leroy. He ain't seen Leroy in 3 years. Now he want to come over here and pick up little Leroy. Because Shannon over there banking her. You understand? That's how it works. I want to see my kids. You ain't seen, he don't even know you. Motherfucker, he was calling me daddy. You understand? So it's the same shit.
That's how it is.
That's how it is.
That's exactly how it
now
is.
she's doing her own, and there's no way to make her behave.
Well, Kim is what we call a standalone.
Oh, yeah.
Kanye is a standalone.
Oh.
They were tremendous together. They were absolutely a power couple. But in a standalone situation, she can stand on her own.
She can stand on, and plus you got to understand, she's well seasoned.
Yeah.
She done had that work. She done been with stars.
Yeah.
She know us.
Yes.
She know the family, not only men, she know black men.
Yes.
So the intricate part of you really breaking her down is virtually impossible. She done been through it all, man. That woman knows how to compartmentalize her feelings to go on to the next person, no matter who it is on it. And you just have to realize
that takes a special person to do that.
Oh, well,
because Quake, I ain't gonna lie, I just can't leave like this. Like, I'm like, well, maybe we can make it work. Maybe we should try to make it work.
Shit. I'm out of that motherfucker. They call me Liam Quake, nigga. Nigga, trust me.
Quake, hold on. You ain't had one woman that you fought for that you say, baby, don't leave. Let me make it right.
Hell no.
Yeah, you damn sure ain't been
no, hell no. Yes, I have. I mean, my love will start to decrease once you tell me you no longer want to be with me.
But I'm saying, But what? So
Yeah.
what about if it's something that you're doing wrong, Quake?
It's a process of love because I'm transparent. I'm honest with you. If we're not in a monogamous relationship, I'll let you know. If we are, then it is. I just have a mentality. I owe my life to nobody,
Right.
but to God. But what I will do, I share it with anybody. But once you tell me you don't want to share it with me, then I'm out of here. I don't owe you that. I'm not going to sit here and use my time to try to convince you that I'm the best thing for you.
Right.
And minds could never be ours. So you must have your mind on somebody else. Then go ahead. And I let my record speak for itself, how I treat you and invest. I tell women all the time, you can get any man to sleep with you, but who's actually gonna claim you and be there for you? And that's what I put that on. And once you say that ain't good enough, ain't shit else I can do. If I keep trying, I'm making a fool out of myself.
Well, maybe she just saying that because she wants you to prove it.
I wasn't put here to prove that. I ain't put that with you. Let's start on it, and we'll deal it on day by day. I don't need you to prove it. Just don't disprove it.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
All the way back. From D.C.,
Yes.
joined the military.
Yes.
Were you always funny? How the hell
Nah.
you go from the military to be a comedian?
Nah, my family is funny. My brother Tyrone funny than me, but he don't know how to put this shit together. And I would never tell him how to put these jokes together. You hear that, motherfucker? Ever. You'll stay working where you at, motherfucker, ever. Keep on doing that job, because you would never put these jokes together. So this was just the best decision that day, because I was in the military for 9 years, and it was time to get out. And
What made you decide to go to the military?
Oh, man, I lived with a mother that complained all the motherfucking time. It was rough living with
Well, you
my
could have
mother.
got out.
Nah, I mean, that's why I got out. When I walked across the stage, I walked straight into the military. It was a week after I graduated.
Right.
And I was like, shit, go in the military, they holler at, I'm getting hollered at home. In the military, they holler at you and give you a check. You know? Let me go over here, because this motherfucker hollering at me ain't giving me nothing, no allowance or nothing. So I joined the military, and it was the best decision of my life. You know, because I'm from D.C.
Right.
And it's segregated, and going into the military allowed me to see that the world is bigger than the corner, and we as people got more in common than we ever have different. Because I had this, tell people all the time, I had this white roommate when I first went in the military, name was John. And when I tell you this white man ate more chicken than any black man ever did, right? This fried chicken bucket eating motherfucker Kentucky fried chicken. I'm talking about bucket after bucket. I was like, God damn, John. He said, it's so good. Have you tried honey on the biscuit? I said, yeah, but not 12 straight. This country motherfucker. He took that skull out of the long cricket like that and threw it in the motherfucking cup and commenced and put that bucket right there and wore that chicken out. I'm telling you, every other day.
You're in the military for 9 years, okay? You're about to come out. What's your plan?
I ain't had no plan. I just knew I tell people right there, you don't need to have a plan. I just had, this what I ain't gonna do. I'm not going over Desert Storm and fight for some oil, and I ain't got no car. That's what the fuck I'm not gonna do.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck with it. And I seen on CNN, they said, you know, they had a poll. What's the number? You know how they do that shit. What's the top cities for black men to prosper in? And number one was Atlanta. I said, well, there you go. Look at God. That's a one. So my other 4 brothers, partners, was like, listen, man, you know you ain't gonna fight evil. Let's go to Atlanta. And that's what we did. We all 4 went to Atlanta, got a 2-bedroom apartment, and then when
What year was that?
That was 91.
Okay.
91, we went to Atlanta and we got an apartment, and all of us, and then we slowly but surely, everybody got their jobs. And I was living on unemployment, see what I was gonna do. So I went down to a comedy club and did some open mic and a little comedy while I was in the military to get out of working. That's what they used to call me, skate quake, skate stroll, anytime to get out of work. So I took a girl to the thing, and she was laughing hard as shit. I said, if you want to fuck him, just say you want to fuck him, but that shit ain't that funny. You all underneath the table and shit. What you talking about? You're just jealous. That's funny. I said, yeah, that's funny, but that ain't the funniest shit I ever heard. for you to be all this motherfucker throwing up and everything. So she said, well, come on. If you think you better than him, do it. I said, shit, I can do better than that. And so I started, and ain't nothing came since. So it was the best decision, and nothing else has came in my life since then.
So, were you funny? Were you funny as a kid? Were you funny in high school? Were you a class clown?
Nah, it was good, but my brothers them took all the time, old hogging ass motherfucker. You gotta come from a big family.
Right.
We go, and my brother Tyrone, my brother Butterball, my sister Tawana, Marcel, they was funny. We just had funny stuff, so I didn't get too much stage time.
You mentioned that you're every comedian's favorite comedians.
Yeah.
Who's your Mount Rushmore comedian?
Oh. First of all, the Dundada is, without question, Eddie Murphy.
Okay.
Most talented person I ever met in my life. I was looking at him like, ooh, this is why I ain't got no TV show. This motherfucker from my, I love different, I don't watch other comedians because I don't write physically, I write mentally.
Right.
And if I watch a comedian, I'm afraid that I might be contaminated with something that they said I thought subconsciously.
You know what Quake, I don't watch sporting events with the sound. And people say, why you don't watch it with the sound? I say, because when they talk, I don't want to hear what they're saying. Right. I want everything that you hear come out of my mouth, I said it.
Exactly.
So if I hear somebody say something on a football game or a basketball game, oh man, Sharpe, you just repeating what somebody else said.
Oh, it could.
But it's subconsciously.
Not only subconsciously, it can alter, especially for you, it can alter your perspective of what you was gonna say. So to keep it authenticated and keep it pure, I don't listen. But to answer your question on there.
You got Eddie?
I got Eddie, I got Dave, I got Chris Rock, I got Corey Holcomb because of his fucking fearlessness. Corey does not have a pro-woman set, but he will go to Spelman and do it.
Right.
And they'll boo the shit out of him and he won't care. That's fearless.
Right.
Knowing you going into the pit and stand strong. He got more nuts than any of our politicians. Will stand there in front. That's what I believe in, and then on there. And last but not least.
No, you don't get before.
Yeah. DL. That's fine, man.
Nah, hell no. You ain't really
I need another head, man.
I can't believe that you left Pryor off.
Pryor was before my time, first of all, and I met him. And second of all, I think a lot of people put Pryor on because you can't dispute it. You know what I mean? I ask people right here, put Pryor's work up, movie-wise. We're not, see the problem I have with it, are we talking about jokes? We ain't talking, if we talking about movies, TV, the rest of it, yeah. But talk about jokes, and he has work that's sitting there that he has done. I will put Raw and Delirious up against any Pryor stand-up.
Yeah.
Period.
But you know, he made the stand-up that he did, you know Pryor, Raw came from that.
Well, I mean, somebody had to, just because you first in the grocery store.
That don't mean you the best, huh?
That don't mean you the best. Just because you got the goddamn loaf of bread don't mean my bread fucked up or I ain't got a better loaf. See, that's the shit y'all kill me about. And since he's gone, and don't nobody want to go against and say, nah, he ain't. You know what I'm saying? It's a couple times I think Pryor did one, and you know, sit there, they had all the menu on the back of it. Some of his, like even when he did on Sunset.
Yes.
He came to Sunset. The first one he bombed on. Because he was nervous coming back from the fire, and I could see it. And as a comic, the second one that he filmed, I could see he was getting back in it, but he wasn't there yet.
Right.
But he had to shoot it because it was time.
Right.
You know, you could see those type of things. Certain motherfuckers have flawless shit. Like Eddie Murphy, when he did Raw, every time he took the scarf off at the same fucking point, every time on it. It's just precisions of it. And you put the weight of what's funny against his funny against Richard Pryor, and I put his special up against anybody's.
How would Pryor, how would Murphy, how would Bernie Mac, some of these guys that anything went back then, Quake, You could talk about everybody. If you rode a little bus, you had to hit whatever you wanted to talk about, and it was no big thing. Well, now you can't do that.
You can. It all depends on what's important to you. They can only cancel you for what they feel is viable. See, like I told motherfucker, you can't blackmail me because whatever you have, I refuse to give you, make it valuable. See, like Dave Chappelle, you can't cancel him because he's already financially sufficient,
right.
Financially taken care of, and what you try to take away from him, he doesn't value it. He don't want a TV show.
He walked away.
He don't want to do movies. So you can't take away his stand-up because his fans gonna come see him.
Right.
So you have nothing to leverage against him. And to answer your question, Pryor, the rest of them will be the same way. I don't need no fucking movie. I'm Richard Pryor, and I'm gonna stay up here, and whatever offends you, I'm gonna even do it more. And my fans will come see. Now what? Then the motherfucker gonna run on stage try to kill you.
Chappelle.
Yeah.
He seems to be the gold standard now. When everybody, I talk to a lot of comedians, like you say, I know you and DC and DL and a lot of these guys. Chappelle is the standard.
Right.
How? I mean, because I remember watching him in Nutty Professor. Reggie.
Yeah.
Reggie. Saw him in Blue Street.
Yeah, great.
He was tremendous. I got a story to tell. and you know, should I get it? You know, he messing with Professor Club. Should I get him? How did he become this?
The consistent, y'all don't understand. And I said this once in another interview. Dave Chappelle is equivalent to our LeBron James. He's been a phenom forever. When he got into business at 14, 15, 16 years old, the industry loved him. I remember we was in Montreal. Montreal Comedy Festival is equivalent to the Netflix Ain't a Joke Festival. And that's where all comedians go to Canada, Montreal, Canada, and all the industry come up there and see the new talent and give out development deals for TV shows for the upcoming season. Dave went up there, and when I tell you, after he got on, he could have been on the Food Channel. He had like 19 offers. He has always had development deals. So he has always been our LeBron James, a phenom.
Right.
From an early age. So when it comes to that, especially such as people myself is, we already knew. And he had the people who the decision makers feel that way about him too. And once you have them on your side and they acknowledge your talent, it's endless what you can do. And that's why the rest of us as comedians have to give it to him. You going up there trying to get one deal with ABC. He got ABC, NBC, CBS, TNT. He can go wherever he wanted to.
He put you on. He said,
Yes.
You know what? I want you to do a show for Netflix,
Yes.
and I want to produce it.
Yes.
Have anybody in the industry shown you as much love as Dave?
Put it this way, not at this result, with this result, but Chris Rock is.
Yeah.
Did for me, put me on Everybody Hate Chris.
Yeah, you the uncle.
Yeah, I'm the uncle. Kevin Hart has.
Yeah.
He made me the flagship for his radio show.
Heartbeat.
DL has. Many has, but none of them had the weight to do it the way Dave did. And he was courageous enough to say, I know this motherfucker is a force. And he's been a force for a while. And I'm gonna go ahead and put him out here. If none of the rest of y'all not gonna do it. Because all my peers been knew this. They seen this. They just didn't feel that they wanted to invest in me at that time.
That's the thing. Because I mean, what I think is funny and what somebody else think is funny is entirely two different things.
True.
I look at you. I look at Ced the Entertainer. He's been in movies.
Ced too.
He had, TV shows. DL had a TV show. I mean, there's so many guys. What's funny to Quake? I mean, because as a football player, I know a good football player. Everybody ain't good. I don't care what the entertainers, what the commentators say. I don't care what's being written. Football players know good football players. Basketball players know good basketball players, so forth and so on.
I love honesty. Are you true to it? If you up here talking about, man, weed too high and you don't smoke, who wrote that? Or will you steal it?
Right.
Honesty, authentic, and you don't patronize to the people. That's why, again, with Corey Holcomb, this is me and you're gonna accept it. I'm gonna win you over. This is what it is. That's what's funny to me, the courage of it. Because you up there by yourself. And I done seen many a comedians, like 2 or 3 minutes that don't work, and you can see they change all the way. How do I succumb to you so you can like me? But a true comic, like, fuck you. This is funny. You're lucky I'm here.
Right.
You'll never get to see me again.
Had you been in Chappelle's situation, he had the Comedy Central thing, he had the skit. I mean, it was universally, I mean, people running home because I gotta see the Chappelle show, gotta see the Chappelle show. He walked away from it.
Because your mental health in this is the most important part. What I'm learning now that I'm in this transition, and I promise myself, I will not move if I can't take my happiness with me.
Right.
That's all he's saying. There is no price in return for my mental health of not being happy on it. And he saw them exploiting him and he couldn't live with himself. And if you constantly do it for the money, next thing you know, you're in a hotel with, go and put the strap on.
Right.
Who got it? You understand? So he has to bring it with him. And deep in his heart, and it's shown that he knew he could get that money back. And he did. And he kept his integrity with it. And he didn't, sell out under his terms on it. Because he felt that they was laughing at him instead of with him.
Right.
And now that I'm around Dave and know him closer now.
All I know, I was one to invite to the party. When he be throwing them legendary parties.
Oh, man, I got you, man. I call you, man. You be asleep because you got to get up early in the morning.
I was there. Quay, you be calling at 12, 1 o'clock. I don't know what the hell you want me to do. Hey.
Yeah, but that's when time start popping, man. I can't tell the motherfucker, let's do it 7:30.
Yeah, just do.
You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, let me look at you.
How different is touring today than what it was when you first started touring?
The money is... These motherfuckers getting NBA contracts.
Come on.
I'm trying to get some of that. The money is ridiculous. I mean, think about us. We're a self-entity. We produce, write, star.
Right.
Everything. I was telling a promoter the other day who booked New Edition. It's just one of me. You gotta do Ronnie, Ricky, Mike, Bobby, Johnny. You understand?
That's why you don't see the bands anymore.
Exactly.
Let me get that $100,000. I can't split $100,000 separate ways.
Separate ways. So we need $200,000.
Exactly.
And motherfucker, you ain't at $200,000. But the money is just something out of. It's just.
Did you ever think the money would get to where it got?
I never knew. I knew Steve Harvey showed me how much you can get when I booked him in my club, and we paid him $49,000. I was like, is this kind of money in this club? I think I'm gonna stay here in this game. But now, they like, you do the math. We had 18,000 people in Hollywood Bowl. Average ticket, $175, $200.
Right.
200,000, 18,000 people for all the shit you utter. As a comedian, no band, no drink, just you and the mic. It's a beautiful thing.
After day, after day, after day.
Day after day. You can go down there and do 2 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday. And if you got enough, you can get a private jet to have you back in your house Sunday night. And you done picked up about $1 million.
Wow.
Money is stupid.
Social media.
Yes.
I see a lot of guys on social media. A lot of guys are getting their start with the social media. And then they blow up, and then they're able to go and, like you said, book a set.
Mm-hmm.
Has social media, you're on social media, but you don't really be telling jokes. You be putting real life issues out there. The cop shot Ray Ray. Man, it's effed up. Somebody did something, some Karen said something. On your page, you're different than a lot of comedians. You're talking about real life issues.
Yeah, because I sell my jokes. These motherfuckers cost. I can't, we can talk about motherfuckers getting shot, but these jokes, I'm gonna need a cover charge. So, my people be on it. Just talk about this and that. Like, I can't. You know what I mean? I'm from the old school. And I have nothing against social media comedian, but I tell them just like you are, you still, because you have this platform and you have people coming, if you're gonna name yourself or claim to be a comedian, you're gonna have to do the work. It does not substitute being on the stage by making people funny on there. Ain't no edit page, take another shot, another shot.
There's only so many skits you can do.
Well, not only that, you don't get to do it 2 or 3 times when you're on stage. The
Right.
joke got to come out the first time.
Right.
And if you're going to sit here and put yourself in this lane, as I'm saying, and proclaim yourself a comedian, then you must understand that it ain't how many followers you have, it's how many comedians you can follow. And until you able to get on that stage and go behind heavy hitters and still take it to a next level, you will never be a part of this crew.
You on obviously. So you're on a show and you got heavy hitters.
Yeah.
How different? Because it's just Snoop said if I'm on a track with all these guys, I got to bring it. They're gonna make me step my game up because I'm not about to be the weak link.
Of course.
How much pressure is that, Quake?
It's a lot of pressure and a lot of people. We call them the anchor. You gotta have an anchor. That's the person that can bring the whole show.
That's the anchor leg, on the relay team, the anchor leg. He the dog.
But see, some of the dudes, what they do is they ask for the money as the headliner, but they go ahead and take the slot of the MC as the host.
Right.
Because they know they can't take that $5.
Right.
Because that stage don't give a hell about your credibility, your credits.
Yes.
And the crowd gonna give you love the first 5 minutes because they recognize, they see you, then they gonna sit back, especially black crowd, okay? Give you a hot 5. And I don't care what show you been on. If you don't bring it, they gonna boo your ass. So you must know right then and there. And most comedians, they see who's on the show and we'll talk to the promoter, say, hey man, you should let him go second. Because you want the show to gradually.
You wanted to build.
Yeah. And you don't, just because he's making more money, it's really the promoter's responsibility to make sure that he don't. As many times they come to me like, Quake, we know we're not paying you all the money but you're the strongest comic, we need you to close. I said, well, you better give me his money.
Yeah.
You better give me some more. If I'm closing the show, I can't make the less money. At the minimum, it gotta be Favorite Nation. Well, I stay at my little third spot because it all pays the same.
Are there certain topics that you just won't talk about?
No. If it comes to me, I will talk about it. It's who we are. We're comics. We're I'm not your politician, not your pastor, not your father, I'm not your mother. I'm a comedian. And that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to make things funny. And the best thing's funny is something somebody thought about but wouldn't say it or didn't think about it. And once I say it, now they saw it.
I heard, I don't know if it was you, I think you said it, is that you take a real life situation and you make it funny.
Of course.
And, watch the Netflix special. I've seen it like 3 times. I follow you.
Thank you.
So when things actually happen, are you saying, now how can I turn this into a joke? How can I make this ish funny?
No, usually it comes automatic, but what's my point of view? Like, take for example, when I talked about January the 6th.
Right.
These are white people just rushing to overturn the government. Damn, I wish I was a cop that day. I'd have been shooting the shit out of them and they know what you're doing, saving democracy.
Right.
No different than the pilot.
What they thought they were doing.
The same thing they have done.
Right.
Same thing, the pilot that took the plane down in 9/11 before he got to D.C., he was saving democracy. It's the same way.
Man, hold on. You, Chappelle, Martin Lawrence, Wanda Sykes, Tommy Davis in D.C., what the hell in the water D.C.?
D.C. is the hottest comic. We have nothing but stars. I would take every comedian that came from D.C. and we'll go against any comedians in the world.
Well, goddamn, you got you, Chappelle, Martin Lawrence, Wanda Sykes, Tommy. I love Wanda, my girl.
Oh, I love her.
Tommy, I know Tommy. Know Martin a little bit. Know your ass. Chappelle.
Yeah.
Man, Chappelle grew on me. Cause I guess like when he was doing movies, I was like, and then I saw him doing the sketches, and the sketches was funny. But like you said, there's a difference between doing a sketch and putting a set together. When you got to keep me laughing for 2 hours. Mm-hmm. Uninterrupted.
Right.
Just you.
Yeah.
Ain't no, a lot of there are differences between singers and entertainers. Entertainers, you got pyrotechnics, you got dancers, you got all that. Is it me or is it the background dancers that's twerking or the pyrotechnics? A comedian is a Whitney Houston. You got a stool and a mic. All right, what's up?
And not only that, we need your undivided attention, and we can't use none of the things that you heard before.
Right.
Certain singers and the rest of them still singing off of hits they had in '85.
Right.
And it is off of, but I love it. I love it off of it. It's the best thing ever, especially when you're good at it or great at it.
You said you can't have dreams when you're hungry. That's why you got in all the classes before lunch.
Man, I'm hungry than a motherfucker. I can't study. How am I concentrate over this stomach growling? You better put this motherfucker out there and get this Salisbury steak.
So what did Quake want to be when he was growing up? Did you want to be an athlete? Did you want to be
I just wanted to live like a drug dealer without the repercussions and the consequences of it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to go to jail. I ain't want to get shot at. But I did want the girls.
So you want to be Snowfall. You want to be Franklin.
Yeah, I want to be Franklin with all the good things that come along with it without the, the things on. That's all I want. Just self-sufficient. That not depend on anybody. Because people don't understand. I had a mother that put me out when I was 8. And when she tried to put me out at 8, and I was like, damn, I ain't got nowhere.
Where you going?
Yeah.
So hold on, Quake. What did you do that your mom...
I don't give a damn what I did. You don't put an 8-year-old out. Don't justify that. God damn it.
You might have been Damon. You might have been...
Yeah, I was. I was little Damon Thorne, but still. But that let me know, man, never depend on nobody else, even if it is your mother, because that feeling of nowhere to go, and that was the lifeline for my standard of living on it, was a very important lesson.
Is your mom still alive?
No, she's not.
Did you, because it seemed like you and your mom had a very contentious relationship when you were growing up. Did you amend that?
No, it wasn't contentious. She just knew this is how you had to raise me. See, my son right now, I wish my mom was alive now to give him something, because he a house cat.
Right.
Sorry, Mom. I mean, he ain't sorry, but he depends on anything else. My mother she refused to allow me to depend on anybody. Come on here, let me teach you how you're gonna cook, because ain't no woman gonna cook for you. That's how my mother was. My mother gave me, and now that I retrospect and I look back at it, I see other brothers that's so sorry, in my humble opinion, of the dependency on other women or other things. And now I understand why my mother taught me not to be that guy. And you can survive. You can drop me anywhere in the world, and I will survive.
It really bothers you that you think that you might be dependent on someone.
Yes. Being dependent on somebody, it's the worst feeling in the world. Because what if they wake up one morning and they just don't want to do it?
That is a bad feeling.
That's the worst feeling in the world. Your dependence. That's why I have nothing against pimps, but I do. But I could never depend on no woman for my standard of living under no circumstance. First of all, that is not my role as a man. Second of all, it's dependent on her good grace of how she perceives me for my standard of living. She can come home one day and say, you ain't the one, get your shit, get the fuck out, and I have nothing. Couldn't live under that. I'd rather live, and I have always lived below my means, so to make sure that it will never ever be taken away from me.
Did you tell jokes to get girls?
No, but they the product of them. I got friends. I tell them all the time, if you was to put the same energy in your jokes that you put in them women, you'll be a superstar. Women are the product of your talent. It should never be your motivation for your talent.
That's interesting. I like that. Product, not the motivation.
Yeah.
How the hell you get the name Earthquake?
To be quite honest with you, it came from insecurity. Because once I said I want to be a comedian, but I wasn't sure about it, let me try this. I said, well, I ain't gonna fuck up my good name. So let's try Earthquake. If this shit don't work out, I can always deny it.
I go back to my real name.
Yeah, motherfucker, ain't you Earthquake? I don't know that motherfucker. My name Nathaniel. My family like, we heard that motherfucker down in Atlanta trying to be a comedian. Said, no, that wasn't me. So it didn't work out. My family didn't know I was a comedian until 6 or 7 years in my career.
Why you didn't tell them?
Just told you, in case that shit didn't work out. I wasn't gonna be at the family reunion. Come on, y'all. Guess what? This motherfucker trying to tell a joke.
I thought he was funny.
Yeah.
You know how we do. Hey.
Oh, they would have wore my ass out. You don't get that kind of ammunition to my family. Boy, they would have wore me out.
Was college ever an option?
Yeah. And I was very smart in school, but I didn't have anybody in my family or my surrounding to tell me the significance of counseling. Because when I was in the 9th grade, Georgetown came and got me and put me in this program called Upper Bound Program.
Mm-hmm.
And what that is, they allow you to do your last 2 years of high school at Georgetown, and you'll transfer from there, graduate, and on the pilot program, allows you to go to Georgetown University. You gotta understand.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it. So they came to pick us up. Came to pick me up anyway. And they took me down there and I had a Fat Boy Jones. This is the first time I have ever tasted a fresh donut. And I ate that before. I was like, oh, God damn, hostess ain't got shit on this. And I just stayed by the donut shit while they tore the rest of the shit and everything. And I needed somebody to say, hey, man, put the donut down. This is an opportunity that you can continue on.
Right.
And no one in my family had ever went to school. We felt just graduating from high school was the achievement.
Right.
At that particular time, because my mother and father had an 8th grade education, so they
you supposed to graduate high school and go get a job.
Get a job. That's what
I didn't know college was
I didn't even, only thing we knew about college was Georgetown was there and they played basketball.
Right.
Didn't know the significance. No one ever sat down and was like, no, this is where, and that's one of the biggest regrets I had in my life is not going to school. Because so much of my friends be like, this is my frat brother from school. And
right.
you're like, nigga, I ain't got none of that.
And then you had Howard and you had all those
Howard, right there, all of it. None of that. No one educated me on it.
I mean, how hard was basic training?
Easy.
Why was it easy?
Because you only had to run 1.5 miles once a year. That's why I picked the Air Force. I said, which one of these motherfuckers is closer to a regular job? And they said, in the Air Force, you only run 1.5 miles once a year. I said, sign me up. And I maxed the class, and I was gonna be an air traffic controller, but they said take 8 months for the tech school to get a slot. I said, man, I can't live with this woman no longer. What's the job I can lead today? They said a nuclear weapons loader. I said, I'll take it.
Hold on, you wanted that job?
Hey man, anything to get out your mother house, nigga.
Nah, not that. I mean, you jumped out the frying pan into the fire.
No, I didn't. It was easier to load a nuclear weapon than live with Gilda M. Twyman. She loved me to death, but she argued about everything.
Do you have any traits from your mother? Or did you go out of your way to make sure you didn't possess any of the traits that your mother displayed?
that's a good question. I tell you what trait I have formed from my mother. It's not what you say to me, it's how you say it.
Right.
You have to, the way
dress you a certain way.
Dress me a certain way. If you come at me with any time, even if it's constructive criticism, I'm immediately hit back at your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I get that from my mother because I had to hear it so much and I couldn't reply back.
Right.
Because you can't.
No, you gonna show respect.
Oh, it's respect. Cause she mama, even if I don't agree with her,
Right.
the authoritative who she is, mean there's no reason for a rebuttal at all.
What's it like going from the comedy clubs when you're first starting out, might be 50 people in there, to performing in the Hollywood Bowl and you got 19,000?
You can gamble with a small club. 19,000, you better know what the hell you're talking about, because if you lose them, it can get ugly.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You got to be precise with that many people. But the comedy club is intimate.
Yes.
You can gamble, you can go ahead, and if you tell the wrong joke, you can gamble them 50 or 200 people back up and get them back on your side. If you lose 19,000,
So you ain't getting them back?
you ain't getting them back. Nah. So you better stay on terms.
Let's see what I got here. I'm gonna get you out of here. I don't want you to stay that long.
Oh, you good with me? I'm drinking this good ass scotch and I ain't driving.
You know, you said comedy is therapeutic.
Yeah.
You pay $50 an hour to tell a psychiatrist your problems. At the comedy club, they pay you $50 an hour to tell them your problems.
They hear my problem, exactly. I mean, because all he's giving you, regardless, doctor, whatever, he's just giving you your perspective.
Right.
And for me, simplicity is my number one asset. So most people know the answer to their problem. The question is, do you want to have the courage or the discipline to change it?
Right.
You know what I mean? You know what's wrong. I mean, shit, follow different people, Instagram. Information is everywhere, from Google all the way down, you know. So my mentality is always, well, I'm gonna sit down and you to tell me what I already know, or give me a different perspective, or do I stand up here and make it funny and be truthful, and then I will get the answers and the crowd will react to it. That's all. It's always been that way.
Is there a difference, like when you first started coming up, you probably performed in a lot of black clubs.
Mm.
Do you tell jokes differently when you are predominantly, audience is predominantly this or that?
White crowds are more patient. Black people want their money's worth immediately.
Hey, as soon as you, hey Albert, that ain't funny. You need to come out and box with a joke.
Listen to me. If you see a black man rotate like this, then they give you another one rotate like this, and you start looking around, and the motherfucker like, yeah, me too. Yeah, this shit ain't in there. Boo! You got two rotations. Some bullshit. I done sit down here, rush to come get this. I done spend money, get her hair fixed. She over here acting stupid. Look at all this food, 2-item minimum, this corny motherfucker. I done stand in line, it's raining outside. If you don't say nothing funny in the next 5 minutes, man,
we up out of here.
We up out of this motherfucker.
So what was that like? Getting booed, knowing somebody.
Never happened.
You ain't never got booed, Quake?
Never.
Let me ask you a question. Has anybody ever left? Because you know if somebody leave the comedy club, you know.
Now they haven't left. They have left. But God damn it. I was 9 deep. It was 9 comedians. You know how black comedy. I'm a black promoter. You got to put a sister up there, let her sing like it's American Idol. Then the motherfucker got to do a fashion show. Then the motherfucker start 45 minutes late. Then they got to do the intermission. Then you got to wait to get your money. Yeah. Show start at 8. You don't go on stage at 1:45. Been 1,500 comedians. What the fuck? Her feet tired. They aching. The dude want to get his money's worth.
Quake, you know, I didn't know. I lived in Atlanta. I've been in Atlanta since '94. I did not know that you owned Uptown Comedy Club.
Yes, I was a proud owner. I started it. I picked Uptown and had Uptown because they wouldn't let me perform at the Comedy Act Theater. And I called my mother, said they promised to let me perform at the club, and then they reneged. And she went, what did I tell you? You can never be mad about somebody for not allowing you to use their things.
Get your own.
If they problem, get your own or find another way.
Right.
And I went and got my own.
What are some of the famous comedians that came through Uptown?
Everybody. Chris Tucker, Steve Harvey, every comedian. That's what me and Dave Chappelle met the first time. We booked him at his club and we was paying him so much money. I said, who is this motherfucker? So I went and picked him up. You know how it is, athlete to athlete. Yeah. See all this press about this one. And picked him up, did press, and then took him to the club for the first night, sitting in the back, let me see what this moment. And once he stepped on stage and did the joke with how did they first come up, Caucasian, how did they first come up with the word nigger and the way he did it, I said, yeah, we've been friends ever since. Game recognized game. He's great.
Back then, you own the club, you went and picked the comedian up.
I only picked him up because I wanted to feel him. That we had staff for the rest of it. But for him, and we was paying so much, you know how it is. Let me get close to the motherfucker. Is it real or is it hype?
Yeah.
You get motherfuckers that hype. They come in here and sit here. I'm like, he's not gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. He ain't the truth, But when I picked him up and got to see him, I say he got it. And then after he showed me that, I said, drank my drink and went to Magic City.
Oh, how you take the man to Magic City? You know the man was gonna love Atlanta once he went there.
Hey man, that's how
Where we going?
I indoctrinated everybody at my club to Magic City.
Where we going back?
Every man should go there and see the beautiful thing that God has put down here for all of us. It's the beautiful place.
Well, hold on. You know what, Quake? Now that you mention it, since you've been in Atlanta, you ever been to Claremont?
No, I don't.
You heard about it, right?
I heard about it. White women that dance so ugly. They sit there with that subliminal. Billy was a bad boy. Well, tell Billy to pay you this, motherfucker. My name Earthquake. I don't want to know about no goddamn Billy.
You told a joke about being broke and being in debt.
Mm-hmm.
Explain the difference.
Broke means you just ain't got no money. Debt means even if you get some money, you gotta give it to another motherfucker. So I was in debt for a long time, and it took me a while to get out of debt.
How did you get in debt? Living outside your means?
Trying to keep a woman satisfied with gambling at the point I can handle this until we blow. When I got married, I bought a house right next door to Jamie Foxx, up the street from Jamie. And I used to tell my ex-wife at that time, like, listen, this nigga got an Oscar. We just got a dog named Oscar. You know what I'm saying? You gotta slow up on this spending, baby. Once we blow, I'm gonna put us here. And she never understood. I bring home a dime, she'll spend 11 cents, dog. And it kept me on the road, kept me going. I could afford it, but I was doing mule time instead of staying at home and able to be a Clydesdale to get situation that could further my career, but I ain't had no choice. I had to take those dates and that money to sustain that standard of living. So I woke up in the morning, I was like, I'm $2 million, $3 million in debt, nigga, and I ain't got nothing to show for it. Nothing for me personally. I got a house, I got a wife, I got this, and it wasn't high. I got $3 million worth of fucking debt. And ain't nothing that I can put my hand on that I personally bought for myself. And that's when it changed. I said, I gotta get up out of here. This motherfucker's too expensive for me. Pew.
You mentioned Steve Harvey. Yes. Know Steve a little bit. He's a great, Steve, he's still a comedian, but Steve is more like, he give you advice. He give you life lessons now. What did you learn from Steve? He's one of your mentors. What did Steve teach you?
A lot, man. First thing he taught me is I don't need to physically write. I remember one time I was writing, and he said, what you doing? I said, writing out these jokes for me. He just grabbed it, tore it up. He said, you don't have to write. Yours come out right out the oven ready. Don't let them make you conform to their process. Use yours. From there, I took off. And to always believe. Steve is the most confident person I've met in my fucking life. Some people take it arrogance, but Steve has always believed in Steve.
Yes.
I remember when I first booked him in my club, and there was only 50 people there the first night. And Steve came to me and said, Steve Harvey don't perform for 50 people. I was like, nigga, this shit is packed. What the hell you talking about? Send them home, give them their money back, come pick me up in the morning, and we're gonna go into the radio. And he was the one that taught me, excuse me, the significance of doing radio as part of promotion. Because he got there that morning, of course, bought the DJs. We had to stop at Dunkin' Donuts and get donuts and orange juice. I said, what are we getting this for? He said, you got to get this to the morning personnel because they're so intimidated by us. Think we're going to take their job, which we can. These motherfuckers are terrible. But you got to pay them off so we can stay on the air long for the whole duration of the show,
Right.
of their morning show. So we got on there and I watched them from 6. We got there about 5:30. It was from 6 to 10. He did the whole show. When I tell you, it was no tickets sold before we got there. When we got off the air, we sold out 6, 8, 10, and 12 on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So when he was the first big act I ever had. And when they went to settle up and they show how much money he had, I like, there it is. So that's what I do now. When I hit the radio, I'm selling tickets. I'm making people say, who was that mofo that was on the radio?
Right.
I got to go see him. Certain people get on there and interview. Yeah, me and my kids are good, and I'm working with Jamie Foxx. Nobody want to hear that shit. What they want to hear, are you funny? And are you going to be funny tonight?
Right.
Simple.
Kids, you mentioned, I think you got 2, right?
3.
3.
Had 4, but it turned out to be a counterfeit baby.
There you go, quick. We're not doing this.
No, it's a counterfeit baby. It's true. If you want my story now.
Tell the story of the counterfeit baby. What happened?
Well, I don't want to tell, but...
Yeah, you do want to tell it.
No, I don't, but I'll tell it. I was dating a chick I wasn't dating her. We was friends, associates.
With benefits, okay.
Well, you know how you meet a person. Come on, man. You're a football player. When you come into town, you want tickets. You want to come see me. We cool. You do dinner.
Right.
It might pop off. It might not. They cool people.
Right.
Never ask you for nothing. Tell you where to eat, what's hot, escort you through. We had that kind of relationship. 16 years, never asked me for nothing. Any woman that I be with I'm going to enhance you. And what I mean by enhance you, even if I'm not your man, I am going to contribute to you to be a better woman, which if it's within my ability. And with her was put her through nursing school, help her to facilitate different things. But anyway, when my mother died, I was handling the funeral and everything. I drove up to see her, and we got into it. We got intimate, and then she came and told me she was pregnant, and she was saying, "Yeah, this must be God, God takes from you and gives to you." And this is a woman I done had many a countless. I don't got enough toes or fingers. I don't want no more kids. I damn sure don't want the next woman that's gonna be the mother of my kids gonna have to be the woman of my dreams. I'm not trying to have somebody that's just with me being the mother. So anyway, she told me it was that since I knew her for 16 years, there was no reason for me
Not to believe it.
Not to believe it, nor that I wanted to check on it and it come back positive. Then I got a motherfucker for 18 years looking at my child. He never believed you was his father anyway. You don't want that. That's hard. So anyway, she told me I had the kid, named it after my mother and everything. Kid got about 3 years old. I'm flying up to Cleveland, taking care of her and everything. So I don't know how you do it. I invested in her in a point to say, listen, I want you to be self-sufficient, because what happened to the last time in my relationship, they envied me, but I'm living my dream and they're not living yours.
Right.
So what we're gonna do is, she was a nurse at the jail. I said, I don't want you, that's dangerous. What you need to do is get your own agency and sit out here and put them on out as independent contractors to nurse home. And so we did that. My good friend Jermaine and all of us facilitate with her, got her a government bed. We're talking about 6, 7 figures on here. So if I help her make her money, she ain't gonna look at my pocket to get mine. That's what I'm thinking.
That's what you're thinking.
So I calls her up one time and she doesn't return my calls. Now this I call her Batman, Gotham City. When I call her Yuli, I'm up, read the Bible.
Yeah, Commissioner Gordon called Batman, he pick it up.
He pick it up.
Yeah.
She was that, but this time she ain't called me like, what the hell going on? So my child that I thought was my child it was her time, it was his birthday. I said, let me talk to him. She wouldn't talk. So all the things I went through, my previous baby mother going through, she went through. I said, you'll be the last one I thought would take me through this with our child. I don't know what I did to you or nothing. So anyway, not hearing nothing from him. I'm on his Father Day show that I do in New York every year. I'm on the radio, I get a phone call, and I haven't talked to her, but it has area code 216, which is Cleveland, so I'm thinking it's her. It's her boyfriend.
Uh-oh. He called the show?
No, he called me.
He called you, okay.
While I was on the show.
Right, you was on the show, okay, my bad.
So I'm like, hey, what's up? And he said, hey man, listen, I grabbed my girl's phone now, her phone, and I thought you was smashing my girl. But as I grabbed her phone and went through it, I could see that y'all are just co-parenting and you're not trying to be with her. I can't even let you go through that. That is not your kid. And then he sent me out of her phone all the daily texts that she was having with the real father while she was playing that role with me at that time.
Oh, man.
Her mother knew, her son knew, her brother knew. It was like the Truman Show. I was in that motherfucker, the only one
that didn't know.
You know what I mean? So that's why I call it a counterfeit baby. Counterfeit baby.
Y'all not cool no more?
Hell no. I ain't talked to her since notification. No, there's nothing else to be cool about. That's the worst thing you can ever do, to sit here and have someone else, me and the child, believe that I'm his father and have him play as my son for your own personal gain. Now, I know certain women, out here, and you might not know, but she knew and she continued on with it. And for that, I will never forgive her. And then, I don't know about you, but it's a privilege to talk to me. I'm like Luther Vandross. Give me a reason not to fuck with you.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't think like that, Quick. I'm just a normal guy.
Nah, fuck that. The normal guy of normalcy. Ain't no normal motherfuckers out here putting up with that on. If you sitting there treating them well and giving them the respect that they are, how dare they? How dare they? I go somewhere else with that. Go and find that with somebody else.
You a sports fan?
Very much so.
Who your team?
Everything Washington. You be killing my team too. I just
y'all
want to
terrible.
let you know.
Y'all good and terrible.
Listen, man. We're getting through this.
Y'all be
We're the Commanders.
You know good well y'all ain't about to win nothing.
Okay.
With that name?
Listen, when we win, the name will be good. Who thought a Cowboy be good? Them sorry motherfuckers. They play like they don't even practice. They are the Super Bowl winning every year. You tell that to Skip. They're terrible.
So who your basketball team?
Washington Wizards. Everything Washington.
Quake, y'all hadn't won anything since, 79, Elvin Hayes and Wes Unseld? Really? Bobby Dandridge?
Well, you from Georgia, never had the Hawks.
Yeah, we bad.
Y'all ain't never had a parade. At least we had one.
Well, they had a parade last year.
I'm talking about the Hawks. The Hawks. You know you fucked up as a black man when you got to go to baseball to see your trophy. Mother ain't say football. He ain't say basketball. What about the Braves?
Hey, we had Hawks had the Falcons had a 28-3 lead on the Patriots.
Yeah, and every stripper still mad because had $1 million on deck and you blew it, Mac. You blew it.
They did. You was starting the Shaq's All-Star Comedy Jam.
Yes.
How was that experience?
It was great. And I looked at Shaq in his face and I told him, I said, I hope this is not an overnight thing or once. I hope you're a facilitator for comedy. See, one thing what happened with us comedians, we have never had our Puffy. We have never had our Russell Simmons. And what I mean by that, Russell Simmons did do Def Jam, but he let it go.
Right.
We never had nobody facilitate our talent to the gatekeepers. See, I admire rappers because Puffy will tell the A&R or the record label, you ain't got to talk to my artist. We would deliver the product to you, and I guarantee you it'll sell.
Right.
Not for us. For us to get a TV show, we have to go and collaborate with motherfuckers that have no talent.
Right.
Who's sitting here telling you how your story should be
Told.
and how it should be told. And this what you should put in this story. And when the shit falters or fails, then you take the weight. Quake Show didn't make it. Well, I didn't want a gay dog flying at night. You would say, this will be a hit if we have a gay dog in the place. So that's what it is off of it. And I was hoping that Shaq would take his leverage and continue on. He said he was, but for whatever reason it didn't.
Who's funnier, Shaq or Charles?
Charles, because he's able to be himself and it's accepted. Charles will fuck a word up just like I do. And it's funny. Not gonna. You say that shit. You can put my name on it. What do you say? That Subway commercial with Steph Curry. You can put my name on it. I could, but I'm not gonna. Lee, Alabama ass be in that motherfucker. I hung out with, Barkley doesn't remember me, but I hung with Barkley when I was in Vegas and watched him lose $1 million each night. And my wife at that time, my ex-wife, was like, come on, let's go. I said, no, it's a lesson in this. On the roulette table, $1 million every night for 2 nights in a row. It was me, him, and the Big Hurt. Big Hurt lost about 30,000, but Charles lost $1 million every night. He's like, quick, I still got 72 left.
Let me ask you this. You say you don't write your jokes down, you just, rappers, I guess Jay, Biggie, Weezy, they don't write jokes. But how if you don't write it down, how do you remember it and take it to a set and comprise and have a compilation where you can just flow?
Because nobody know what it's supposed to be but me. As long as I put it together, that is funny, you don't know because I'm the only one know what it's supposed to be. Like, I left out a lot of shit on my special.
The Netflix, right?
Yeah, especially January the 6th, about shooting them on the fucking steps. And I left out the part and I haven't forgave myself. Would have took another level. I said I would have been John Wick up that bitch. Sliding on the floor. That. But see, when you in it,
right?
You see it. Cause so for me, I go with a subject and then it comes in my face and right. I just
roll.
I run with it, what I see.
How hard is it now? Quake, back in the day when you first started, say your first 15 years, there was no cell phone. Mm-hmm. Now you tell a joke, somebody gonna replay it. And then somebody else gonna retweet it. And then somebody else gonna retweet it. And a joke that you could tell for 2-3 years, you only probably got 2-3 shows with it.
But see, that's a beautiful how I come up. I don't even like hearing it that long. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how comedians do the same shit over. You got to be tired of hearing it. If you tired of hearing it, the crowd have to hear it.
But they like it.
Get them
Chick-fil-A could sell burgers, but they like that chicken sandwich, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, they still laughing.
Yeah, but a joke is something that you can't repetitively keep on doing. That is not the description of the occupation.
Right.
We're not singers. We cannot sing the same hit song over and over.
Right.
You cannot tell a joke over and over again.
So you can't be Frankie Beverly Man? They can't
Fuck no.
Summer Love?
Can't do Summer Love. Southern Girl!
Southern Girl, Summer Girl.
All right, get down.
Before I let go.
Before I let go. You can't do it.
Bruh.
Oh, man, thank you. You my man.
Man, Quick, I appreciate
always, man. You're great. Tell your brother I said hello,
I sure
man.
will.
I used to play with him on Madden all the time.
I sure will, bro. I appreciate your time. I know you're very busy, but, bro, you give me a couple of minutes today. I really appreciate that.
No, I appreciate any time. I'm always a phone call away.
All my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle paid the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice, that's why. All my life, I've been